We are coming up on the biggest holiday on many people's calendar. It's probably the most commercialized, the most celebrated, the one that you drive down the street and you see Christmas. Like, you can't always drive down the street and see other holidays, but you can drive down the street and you can see Christmas lights, homes decorated. This is Christmas. And one of the coolest things about Christmas is many people, many families are about to create memories. They're about to like find joy. A big part of Christmas is finding joy in little moments. And I love that. Like, I do love that. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, like, the ability to find joy in the smallest moments of life. I mean, I think that's what makes life worth living. I think that's such an epic thing. What I would hope is that we would find joy all of the time. What I would hope is that we would find joy and excitement all of the time. What I would hope is that this is not going to be something we just do every year at Christmas. It's something that we do throughout the year, because the power of finding joy, the ability to find joy, is literally life-changing. It's what makes life. It's what makes life truly worth living. And we're going to get into that this week. And I'm going to start today. So welcome back to the Aha Moments, where every day I share the lessons I've learned in my work as a psychotherapist and in my life to inspire you to live your very best life. Of course, I'm your host, Elliott Connie. I read a book about the power of little moments. Wasn't necessarily about joy, but I think it makes the point. So I want to share this. I read this book when I was in graduate school. It's called Man's Search for Meaning, written by a guy named Viktor Frankl, who was I want to say Hungarian Jewish psychologist. I might get the country wrong, but I think he was Hungarian. And he was captured and taken to a concentration camp. And he, knowing about people, and he studied the people around him, and he got to the point where he could predict people's deaths within 2 or 3 days. So what he would notice is when people lost hope, they would give away very valuable things. And in the concentration camp, the very valuable things were things like sweaters, cigarettes, stuff like that. And when he noticed people giving away their sweaters and their cigarettes, they had lost hope that they would ever get out and see their loved ones again. They had lost hope that their loved ones had survived this horrible experience. And once they lost hope, they perished within days. So Viktor Frankl realized, I've got to find hope in the smallest ways, any way I can. It became a challenge to him to make sure that I never lose hope. I've got to find hope wherever I can find it. And of course, in an environment like that, hope is not like, big gifts under a Christmas tree, or hope is like little small things. And he wrote in the book that one of the things he would hope for, he said, every day when we were fed, they would ladle this broth onto our feeding tray. And there was meat and potatoes in the broth, but not a whole lot. It was extremely, I'm sure you guys have seen the World War II pictures of people in these camps. They were not being fed a healthy, nutritious diet. And this broth was very thin, but did have some meat and potatoes in it. And he said occasionally, when you were going through the line, the person serving you would drop the spoon, and causing the ladle to go to the bottom of the vat. And when they lifted it up, because it was at the bottom, it had more meat and potatoes than normally. And he said, every time I went through the serving line, I hoped that when I got to the front, that's when they accidentally dropped the spoon. That kind of hope is what he credits for getting him through this concentration camp experience. And I heard that, and I just realized, like, the power of little moments in that case, hope. In this week, what we're talking about is joy. If it could help him save one of the most extreme examples of human atrocity, if it could help him survive one of the most extreme torture experiences any human has ever been through. What could it do in our lives? So my challenge to you is, as you go through this Christmas experience, I want you to find joy in the smallest moments. Of course, there'll be big joyous moments, having your Christmas dinner around your family and being surrounded by loved ones and watching the joy on the kids' faces when they get the gifts from Santa Claus. But I want you to look for the smallest moments of joy, and let's create a habit that we can carry on past the Christmas season. Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind doing me a super huge favor, I would love it if you would share this podcast with at least one person in your life that you think could benefit from hearing this message today. And also, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen to your podcast. And also follow me on all of the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. You can search for my name, Elliott Connie, or at Elliott Speaks. That's my handle across all platforms. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.